Manchester United training squad versus Athletic Bilbao revealed as 4 players miss out. Manchester United have revealed their training squad ahead of the crucial Europa League semi-final second leg against Athletic Bilbao at Old Trafford, with 4 notable absentees raising questions about player availability. United go into Thursday night's clash with a commanding 3-0 lead from the first leg in Spain, but head coach Ruben AMORIM is dealing with some injury concerns ahead of the match. The most significant absentee is centre-back Matthijs de Ligt, who was forced off in the first half of Sunday's dramatic 4-3 Premier League defeat to Brentford with a suspected knee injury. De Ligt's absence from the open training session on Wednesday suggests he may not be fit in time for the European showdown. AMORIM admitted after the Brentford game that he had no idea if the Dutch defender would recover in time to face Bilbao, casting serious doubt over his availability. Also missing from the training session was experienced defender Johnny Evans. The Northern Irishman arrived at Carrington roughly 15 minutes after the session had started, hinting he may not have been involved in the main group activities. Young midfielder Toby Collier was another absentee. He has been out for just over a month with a leg injury, and although he was seen doing individual work last week, he did not take part in Wednesday's team session. Christian Eriksen was not spotted during the open portion of the training either, but United have since confirmed that the Danish midfielder is fit and available for the upcoming clash. There was some positive news for AMORIM as fullback Noussair Mazraoui returned to full training with the group. The Moroccan international was left out of the squad against Brentford to manage his workload, but appears ready to play his part against Athletic. A host of youngsters were again included in the main training group, showcasing the club's continued emphasis on developing academy talent. Jadon Camison, Tyler Fredrickson, who made his second senior start at the weekend, Zach Bauman, Bendito Mentado, and Cheeto Obi were all involved. However, Obi will be unavailable for the second leg due to his exclusion from United's revised Europa League knockout stage squad earlier this year. Another young talent, Aiden Heaven, was seen training away from the main group and doing individual work, making it unlikely that he'll be involved in the matchday squad. United's strong 3-0 lead from the first leg puts them in a favorable position to book their place in a European final for the first time since their 2017 Europa League triumph. Goals from Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes in the first leg, plus a dominant performance overall, have set the tone for what could be a memorable night at Old Trafford. With injuries mounting, AMORIM may need to rely on a mix of experienced stars and promising youngsters to get the job done. Still, the Red Devils remain heavy favorites to progress, especially with the backing of a home crowd that has been instrumental throughout their European campaign. Arsene Wenger urges Europa League rule change amid Manchester United and Tottenham Champions League. Twist. Arsenal legend and current FIFA head of global football development, Arsene Wenger, has called for a rethink of the current Europa League qualification rules, particularly the automatic Champions League berth awarded to the tournament's winner. His comments come as both Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur, despite underwhelming domestic seasons, are on the brink of reaching the Europa League final. Wenger has questioned the fairness of the rule that allows a team to bypass their poor league form and enter the Champions League simply by winning the Europa League. Speaking to beIN Sports, the former Arsenal manager stated, "No, they should qualify automatically for the Europa League again, but not necessarily for the Champions League, especially when you're in the Premier League, where already 5 teams qualify." His remarks highlight growing concerns over the integrity of the qualification process, especially with the Premier League possibly sending 6 clubs to Europe's elite competition next season. Both United and Spurs have struggled significantly in the 2024-25 Premier League campaign. United currently sit in 15th, with Tottenham just 1 place below in 16th, a stark contrast to their strong performances in European competition. Despite their domestic woes, both clubs have thrived in the Europa League. Manchester United lead Athletic Bilbao 3-0 on aggregate following a commanding first-leg win in Spain. Tottenham, meanwhile, hold a 3-1 advantage over Bodo Glimt, setting up a real possibility of an all-English final in Bilbao on May 21st. The root of Wenger's concern lies in the contrast between domestic failure and potential European reward. In his view, granting Champions League entry to a Europa League winner undermines the qualification earned by consistent league performance. This is especially contentious in a league like the Premier League, which already has substantial representation in the Champions League due to its UEFA coefficient. England has already secured an additional spot for next season's tournament, increasing the number of qualified teams to 5. If either United or Spurs win the Europa League, that number could jump to 6. UEFA introduced the current rule in 2014 to increase the importance and competitiveness of the Europa League. The lure of Champions League qualification was intended to attract stronger teams and boost the tournament's profile. Wenger acknowledges that argument, noting, "People will tell you that to keep the Europa League focused, interesting, and motivated, you need to give them that prize." However, his main concern remains whether it's right to allow teams with disappointing domestic campaigns to leapfrog more consistent sides based solely on knockout performances. As both clubs prepare for their semi-final second legs, the debate is intensifying. With only 3 Premier League games remaining, neither United nor Tottenham is in realistic contention for a top-half finish, let alone a European qualification place through league position. Yet, a Europa League title could hand them a golden ticket to next season's Champions League. Wenger's proposal calls for a review of the current system, suggesting that Europa League winners earn a return to the same competition instead of direct entry into the top-tier tournament. As UEFA continues to evolve its competitions, his comments may well fuel broader discussions about meritocracy, fairness, and the future structure of European football.